Folks, Larry Winget here, back with another episode of Ask Larry Anything, the YouTube series where you get to ask Larry Winget anything in the world you'd like to know. And as long as your question is of general interest to most of the folks who tune in here, I would be happy to answer it. All you have to do is write me at info@larrywinget.com, and please, while you're on the internet looking around and looking at this, go to the Larry Winget fan page on Facebook, click like there. Follow me on Twitter at Larry Winget, and join me on LinkedIn, where you'll get to see all of the things that I have to say and find out what's going on in the world of Larry Winget and what you can tune into and subscribe to and all those things. All right, let's get right to it. Today's question. Larry, I like this question. What, in your opinion, is the number one thing that is wrong with America? We're stupid. That's it. We're stupid. Americans are stupid by almost every standard. Now, you can say we're number one. No, we're not. We're not number one in hardly anything, except in self-confidence, by the way. We were ranked number one in having our kids be more self-confident than any other category. We rank third from last in math and logical skills and science and all those categories. Talk to your average person on the street. You'll know that they don't know what grammar and English is all about. Look at some of the writing that people post, and you'll know that they probably never went to English class and don't know the difference between they are, you are, and you're, and there, and there, and on and on and on. And oh my God, capitalization and punctuation, that's gone out the door because we've learned to communicate with our thumbs now instead of actually reading and writing and all of those things. But we're also stupid in so many other areas. We have a problem we have in our country right now in terms of government because we're not smart enough to know what's really going on in our country. We don't do the study. We don't do the work. We have businesses that are failing because they don't know how to be in business and to do well. You would be amazed at the number of emails that I get every month from people saying, Larry, I don't know how to budget my money. Really? You don't know how to write up a budget. You don't know how to do basic math. You don't know how to put together on a sheet of paper, add up, by the way, add 1 + 1 = 2, add up all of your expenses, add up all of your income over here, subtract your expenses from your income, and come up with a positive number. A positive number. People go, well, what's positive? Does it feel good about itself? Oh my God, if you don't know the answer to what a positive number is, you're too stupid to watch this. Click it off and unfriend me because I can't even talk to you. So the problem is, I think the number one problem in America is the fact that we're stupid. And I can make a case for that in so many different areas. We have to educate ourselves. Jim Rohn, my true guru and mentor in my life that I listened to for years and years and really helped me develop a philosophy for who I am and really what I talk about. He had a great line. He said, if we knew better, we would do better. That's true. If we knew better, we would do better. We all need to be smarter. I get so many emails and questions and Ask Larry Anything about how to be better in business. You know, in business, it's never been more competitive. We've never had so many people trying to compete for every dollar that's out there, and we have to be better than we ever were. So we have to be better in business, which leads me to the real answer to this week's question. How do you get better? What should you do to know better? Well, you ought to read. When you consider the stats that say 56% of the people who graduate high school never read a nonfiction book again after graduating. That's alarming. When you realize that the average person in America reads at the 7th grade level. That's alarming. When you realize that the people who do buy a book or go into a library, that doesn't happen much anymore, or download a book to read, only 14% of those people get past the first chapter. That's alarming. And then I get the question, well, Larry, what should I read? I've written a blog called The 5 Books That Changed My Life. You can find it in my blog. Just look up the 5 books that changed my life. But I read constantly. I say in my speeches that how much I read. In the past 22 years, I've read over 4,000 books on every subject that you can possibly imagine. Over 4,000 books. I've cut way back on the number of books that I read, but I still read 75 books a year or so, right in that range. I'm constantly reading because I realize that I can't stay current. I can't be who I am. I can't be my best in my business or in my life unless I'm constantly taking in more information. And I also read for entertainment. So, read. Which leads me to what I want to talk to you about today, what you should be reading. I do get a lot of questions about what I should be reading, and I'm going to give you 5 business books you should be reading. I consider these the success library of the year. I'm going to start with my friend Randy Pennington's book, Make Change Work. This is, and by the way, the subtitle is Staying Nimble, Relevant, and Engaged in a World of Constant Change. You got to admit, we are in a world of constant change. I love the word nimble in there. Now, I wrote a cover blurb for this book, and this is it. I could rename the book, How Tulips, Dodo Birds, and Coyotes Change the Way I Think About Change. Are you interested now? You should be. This is the most fascinating, practical book about dealing with change I've ever read. I absolutely mean what I said about this. If you feel like you're constantly going through turmoil and change and you just don't know how to handle it because it's going too quick in your life and in your business, and you look around and you're confused, this is the best book on change that I've ever read. Make Change Work by Randy Pennington. The next one. If you think maybe that you don't know how to stand out in a crowd, a very competitive crowd right now, a crowd, as I said, that's striving for every dollar that's out there, you need this book. This book is called Create Distinction by my buddy Scott McCain. The subtitle of this is What to Do When Great Isn't Good Enough to Grow Your Business. Ever been there? You worked for years and years to get to be great, and then you find out that you're still not doing as well as you think you ought to be doing, or as well as maybe your competitors are doing. Maybe you don't know how to be distinct. You don't know how to stand out in a crowd. You don't know how to draw attention to you and to your company and to your business. And so I suggest that you read this great book, Create Distinction by Scott McCain. Fascinating read, full of lots of great stories. I'm going to take you right to this one by my friend Joe Calloway. I love the title of this book, Be the Best at What Matters Most. The subtitle, The Only Strategy You Will Ever Need. That's a bold statement, but Joe can back it up. The only strategy we'll ever need. Joe Calloway, Be the Best at What Matters Most. Let me tell you what I like about this book. Most people are trying to be good at everything. Joe contends you don't have to be good at everything. You have to find out what matters most, what has the most value to your customer, and be the best at that. And so he talks about how to identify what's best for your customer and what your customer considers to be your very best, excuse me, and then you learn how to be the best at that and watch the difference that will make. This book, I cannot recommend it enough. I can't recommend any of these enough. Be the Best at What Matters Most by Joe Calloway. Then we have Fred 2.0, New Ideas on How to Keep Delivering Extraordinary Results by my friend Mark Sanborn. Mark wrote the iconic book, The Fred Factor, a New York Times bestseller. Great book. He built an entire movement out of how to become a Fred. Fred is his postman, who gave extraordinary service, took a very ordinary job and turned it into something extraordinary. And he's featured in this iconic book, The Fred Factor. Well, it was read by so many people and there was so much demand for a follow-up that Mark wrote Fred 2.0, even more ideas. This book will help you take what you do for a living, even in your own personal life, it'll have great impact, and show you how to take where you are. Maybe you think you're just doing ordinary things and turn those into extraordinary things to improve your results. It's a fascinating book. It's a great book. It's a very practical book. It's a true how-to book. It'll give you some great stories of how other people do it. Again, Fred 2.0, New Ideas on How to Keep Delivering Extraordinary Results. It will help you deliver results, and it'll help you get better results. Great book. And last, of course, 5 books, my book, Grow a Pair. How to Stop Being a Victim and Take Back Your Life, Your Business, and Your Sanity. That one just hit the New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller list. Let me make you this guarantee. If you buy those 5 books and you do what those books tell you to do, I promise you, you will have a better year. You will turn your business from something maybe ordinary into something extraordinary. You will deliver better service to your customers. You'll learn how to stand out in a crowd. You'll know how to stand up better for yourself in what you do. They have deal with change, every aspect of business. You will be better at what you do. You will be more profitable if you will buy these books and do what these books say. All right, the number one problem is stupidity. I've just given you a chance to fix that with some great information. Thanks for listening to me, and please go out and buy these books.